Chelsea Football Club, an annual review is set for Enzo Maresca, and it's at the end of the season, and there are two criteria he's being judged on. Furthermore, Jamie Carragher, well, it's like clockwork at this moment in time. He talks about Chelsea and he gets Chelsea fans rattled because Schmeichel's sticking up for Chelsea. Yes, Thierry Henry speaks about something very interesting. He gets caught out when he talks about Chelsea Football Club, but there's a wider point that we need to focus on, and it's the number of games, and you're all going to be surprised about what I say. And finally, we've got brilliant news. Estevão's going to Brazil, but there are two people that are not, and we have got an update on 3 players that are played injured for Chelsea Football Club, and I can't lie to you, if I see them on a flight, I'm gonna lose my head. But before we get started, number one, hit the like button. 1,000 likes goes a long way. In the comment section below, tell me what number like you are. It really appreciates it. So if you're number 33, put a 33 in the comment. Finally, subscribe if you like Chelsea related content. Best way for you lot to support, and you get notified when the news comes out, so you never miss anything. Let's get it. Chelsea Football Club hired Enzo Maresca. A lot of people said he's a championship manager. He's not good enough for the club. He'll never win anything. However, 12 months on, I think a lot of those narratives have been debunked. Firstly, he's not a championship manager anymore. He's got 1 year in the Premier League, so no longer can throw the championship tag. Secondly, he has got a win percentage of 62% as the Chelsea manager, which tells you he wins majority of his games. Thirdly, a lot of you are going to say, yeah, but the Conference League spiked that number. Okay, if you remove the Conference League, he's in the 50%, right? 52%. So he wins most of his games. Not many Chelsea managers have that, all right? That's a great reason. The biggest reason of all is he's won 2 trophies. Whether you like him or not, he's going to be engraved in our history for years to come. He'll be the manager that completed the set when he gave us the Conference League. He didn't just do it, he did it in style. And he'll also be always remembered as the manager that won Chelsea the Club World Cup. And whether you appreciate the tournament or not, it's a big achievement for me, it's a big achievement for the club, it's a big achievement for most Chelsea fans. Rival fans hate it because they weren't invited, but Chelsea fans adore it because we've got a badge for 1,000 and something days. Lewis will tell you exactly what day it is. What we are now led to believe is that there is going to be a review, and the review is going to be at the end of the year. Firstly, this review is not impromptu. This review has always been scheduled. There was always an agreement. You will have 2 years, and at the end of the 2 years, we will sit down and reassess the amount of power that you have on your contract. However, he has got 5 years left on his deal, meaning regardless to what happens, they will have to make a decision. Either he walks because he wants to go, either he stays on the same terms, or they sack him. It's as simple as that, right? Or the fourth option, they give him a new contract and renegotiate terms. However, there are 2 metrics that they're going to judge him. Number 1, it's the cup runs. And number 2, the biggest one of all and the most important one, if he gets Champions League football. The club believe that the squad is strong and that at this moment in time, this should be achievable. My thought. Number 1, I think Maresca's doing a brilliant job. I genuinely do. I think what Maresca did from the start of last year all the way till December, where we were sitting second, was brilliant. It was nothing short of amazing. We went through a barren spell of 9 games where it was absolutely shocking. However, a lot of people can contribute that to a lot of injuries. They can contribute that to a lot of first time being a manager at the top flight. And then afterwards, what he did in the run-in was brilliant. He changed his principles, he changed his philosophy, and he ground out results, went to the Club World Cup and humiliated PSG and won us 2 trophies in the span of 2 months. That for me is brilliant work. He got exactly what the target was, and he got 2 bonus cherries on top. This year, on the other hand, the season hasn't started off well. However, what we need to do now is not judge the season based on the first 3 months, because in reality, we haven't had a pre-season. The season's not as perfect as you would want it. I would want to be sitting top of the league. However, I don't think the squad's stronger this year. A lot of people think it is. I like the fact that we've added Heito. I like Santos. I like Estevão. I like Liam Delap, and I like Asugu. The problem is, Sugo hasn't played for the club yet. Liam Delap is injured until the new year. Santos is now hurt. Heito's integrating into the team, and Estevão's still very young. On the other hand, I think we've got weaker on the left wing. I do like Garnacho. He is starting to grow on. Don't like that I'm even saying those words. I don't think he's of the level that we need to be to win the league. I don't think he's of the level if we want to make top 4. But from what I've seen, my bar was on the floor. Alternatively, with Gittins, I've not been impressed at all. My bar is getting to the floor, so we're getting to the stage now where when he completes a pass, I'm going to, in my head, think he's having a good season. However, what I'm here to say is, the review's set. We are going to judge him, and I think it is very important to judge him at the end of the season. Because whether you like it or not, it's a results-based industry. Chelsea Football Club have to get results. If you don't get results, the manager's got to go. Doesn't matter how much you like him. It doesn't matter whose fault it is. Someone will take the blame. And if he goes, those directors need to go with him because they picked him. They didn't back him properly. And in my opinion, they're more culpable than he is. Let me know in the thoughts below. What are your targets for this season? And let's get on with the next one. Jamie Carragher in Chelsea Football Club is a match made in heaven. The reality is he loves us, and low-key we love him because he's a Liverpool fan, but he wakes up in the morning, he checks Pice's Twitter feed to understand the latest topics, and then he looks through the comments to see what rattles Chelsea fans, and he goes on and talks about it. So in essence, he's basically proper Chelsea. But the reality is he was on CBS yesterday, and there was a conversation about goalkeepers. And when the conversation about goalkeepers occurred, obviously Robert Sanchez was brought up, and Bobito was not his favourite player. And the reality is, he basically said Robert Sanchez could never win a Premier League, and he said this to Peter Schmeichel. Peter Schmeichel is a former Manchester United goalkeeper, for you kids that don't remember. Absolute beast. He was meant to be amazing. I don't remember seeing him play. I was far too young, but I know my history. So, Schmeichel, on the other hand, said he could win it. He could help Chelsea win the league. And there's one disclaimer. He needs different centre-backs in front of him. Carragher was very dismissive of this. First of all, I agree with Jay, right? On a 50-50 base. Sanchez, under this current iteration of Chelsea, is never going to win a league title. I think he's a good shot stopper. I think he's an elite cross collector. I think his decision making at times is left wanting. I don't think he's good on the ball. I think he has glimpses where he can convince you he's good on the ball. But majority of the time, he does shit on the ball. And that's just the truth. More importantly though, Schmeichel's point is very interesting because I think he's looking at it from a fundamental standpoint of what a goalkeeper does. What is a goalkeeper? And if we're being honest, Sanchez is a good goalkeeper, man. Sanchez makes the saves he needs to. He makes worldies every now and then. He makes a clamorous mistake when he has to misjudge the ball flying. But what keeper doesn't? Like, that is the thing. If you limit the time he has the ball at his feet, Sanchez is a good goalkeeper. So this is where we need to ask ourselves the question. Is what Jamie Carragher is saying unfair? I don't think so. Because under this manager, we're never going to win the league with Sanchez. I am firm with that. However, you put another manager and you put better centre-halves in front of him, I think you could win it. You give him Virgil van Dijk and Konate or Gabriel and Saliba under Arteta or slot, and the ball-playing nature of the game just is limited for him. He just does his job and throws the ball out. I think Sanchez could win the league. With those defenders around, I think you could win despite of him. I think he'll save you some points here and there. He'll make some mistakes here and there. But overall, I think Sanchez could do something. I don't think he's that bad. But I totally agree with Jamie when he says under this, like, he's as much of a problem as the centre-backs. Don't get that. Thierry Henry was talking about how there's a lot of football. And he was talking about Chelsea and he's saying, oh, they made the Club World Cup final and PSG was in the Club World Cup final. And he didn't watch the Club World Cup. He left at half-time. And a lot of Chelsea fans said, well, hold on. I thought you didn't watch it. I think what he meant was he didn't watch the whole tournament. He was there for the final. He watched till half-time. And he left. And I think this is very disingenuous because, broski, you were there for a hate watch. Clearly, you were hate watching us. And when we're 3-0 up, the hate watch is successful. I tend to turn off the TV as well. 3-0 down, Arsenal's winning. I ain't watching the rest of the game. I don't want to. What? You think I'm gonna enjoy you, man? Have a good time? No, thank you. I'm here for the blood of my enemies, not for the joy of my enemies. Let's behave. But he went on and spoke about the aspect of there's just too much. Players need to take a stand. There is too much. Nations League, Champions League, Club World Cup, domestic cups, Premier League. There's too much on your TV. These players have family. There's importance. The consumer, us, we are getting too much content. And what I need to talk to you lot about is, I think this is true. And what I've noticed is, just from a small point, let's think about it. Every night, there's a game. Every night, nearly. If you want to watch football and you adore it, you can find a game nearly every night. There's always Monday Night Football, there's Champions League on Tuesdays and Wednesdays. If it's not on then there's the Cup games. On Thursdays, the Europa League, Conference League. Fridays, there's a Premier League game or there's a Bundesliga game every week. There's a French League game. What you know is, if you want football, you're going to find it. The problem is, the quality is deteriorating in front of our eyes. And I think people are ignoring this big aspect. The quality of football is deteriorating because these players are getting tired. The difference here is, though, who is actually being impacted? Thierry said the players. I think the players is too generic. I think there is a certain category of players that are getting impacted. The very best in the Rodri, the Enzo Fernandez, the Caicedos, the ones that are consistently playing for their country, the ones that are going deep in competitions with their clubs, the Pedris, the Yamal. These are the players that are impacted. Everton's players aren't. Bournemouth's players aren't. Because if you think about it, I actually thought about it today logically. Everton had 38 games. On top of that, they'll be lucky to get 5 more. You know, get to the 5th round and 4th round of the FA Cup and Carling Cup. All of a sudden, season's over. They play 45 games at most. I don't think their players are moaning. And the reality is, all the bottom half teams in the Premier League are like that. The Championship teams play 46 games. They get a couple of games here and there. Max they hit is 50. Those players aren't. They're playing for their bonuses. They're playing for their appearance fees. They're playing for their win. I think it's the top of the top. And the problem here is, the top of the top is where the quality is. And the quality that we're seeing is getting impact. There's too much football. And we need to decide now, what do we want? Because the money men aren't going to reduce the games. The players aren't going to take a pay cut. I'm telling you right now, they are not. They want the money. But what they want to do is play less games. But I don't think that's possible. So we need to actually decide what we want. I'm going to be honest with you. Making content recently. If I don't make content for one day, I love it because people message me. Where's the content? Where's the video? Where's the news? And I once took 2 days off. I was getting people DMing me on Instagram. And I was genuinely flustered and actually like shocked. I'm humble. Bro, people actually care that much of me making a video or not, because people say it's part of their daily routine. The thing is though, the quality of your content will drop because there are fewer stories to talk about, and what ends up happening is you get quantity but not quality. And the same thing's happening with football. Like for example, I'm going on holiday next Tuesday. I've made a decision, and this is the first time since I opened my YouTube channel for 6 years. I'm not taking my camera, I'm not taking my ring light. I am not gonna make a TikTok, I'm not gonna make a YouTube video for 12 days. I'm leaving on the 7th, I'm coming back on the 22nd. There will be no content in between then. There will be a Chelsea game, but it'll be the international break. I'm sorry, like I genuinely need to recharge. Because I can't lie to you, consistently doing the same thing over and over, what happens is you start going on the Ferris wheel. You're just going around and around. It's repetitive. And you're not actually taking a step back, analyzing your work. Realize, have I got better? Have I got worse? What do people enjoy? And I'm not going to lie to you, being recharged, batteries up, that will be good for me. I know a lot of you won't like this decision, but it's one that I can't lie to you, I think I need to do for the sake of my channel. But let me know your thoughts. Do you think we've got too much football at the moment? Do you think we're being exhausted and absolutely ripped up with too much football? Finally, we've got a massive update. It's one that's actually very welcome. Look, there was an article that came out a few days ago saying that Enzo Fernandez, Joao Pedro, and Caicedo are all playing through injuries. There is no cover for them. Essentially, to rest them means Gio would play, Walsh would play, meaning Keanu Dyer most probably would have to come back from loan and play. Like, we are absolutely eaten up with the number of players that we have that are injured, so there's no rotation going on. However, this is in certain areas. 2 players that have been injured and aren't going. Now, one of them is Joao Pedro. He's not going on international duty. He was not selected for Brazil. And the second one is Andre Santos. This is brilliant. A lot of you are going to say, Alex, why? You want them to go away with their countries. You want them to increase their value. You want them to be better players if they're starting for their countries. What it means is they're just better players, right? Yes, but at the same time, I feel like these players need a rest. We're coming back to it. It's too much football. They need a rest. And honestly, 2 weeks, I want them to go to Heraklion in Crete, Greece, put your feet up, enjoy the sun, get that Mediterranean Sea, enjoy yourself. Switch off for a week, get your asses back into training a week after, and get ready for Nottingham Forest. None of those long haul flights. Personally, if it was up to me, Enzo and Caicedo aren't going either. Both of them need to stay. Enzo, you have 2 kids, spend some time with your kids. Caicedo, you got a kid, spend some time with your kid. Alvarez can wait. You don't need to sleep in the same bed and hug with him. I don't know what comments that came out the other day from Alvarez that he shares a room and a bed with Enzo all the time. Made me laugh a lot, but it is what it is. The reality is we need him at home. We need to make sure Enzo Fernandez is rested, and we need all the players we can get. All hands on deck. So hopefully, the biggest hopefully, they don't get selected for the national team. We already know Malo Gusto's going. They need to recharge. Before we move on, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. I've got more content for you guys over here. It's the review of the last game. I go into good detail. I hope you lot enjoy it. Peace out. I'm out.